it's the first time I drafted it. It's definitely a unique draft. I'm not 100% sold on play boosters yet, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting thing to do. I'm hoping my local store does another couple of drafts so that we can sort of get an idea. The power level definitely seems to have jumped quite a bit though. Lots of commons in the set that seem really good. Some of them even seem pack one pickable if you've not got anything else better to take. So what we're going to do is go through each card and decide what we're going to pick first. So, if we do that. So, first up we have Vengeful Townsfolk. 2 and a white for a 3/3 human citizen. Whenever one or more of the creature you control die, put a +1/+1 counter on Vengeful Townsfolk. Springback Splasher. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 frog beast. When it attacks, target creature defending player controls gets -3/-0 until end of turn. Desperate Blood Seeker. 1 and a black for a 2/2 vampire with lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards. Reach for the Sky. 3 green for an enchantment aura with flash. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+2 and has reach. And when it is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Then we've got Trick Shot. For 4 and a red, you get an instant. Trick Shot deals 6 damage to target creature and 2 damage to up to 1 other target creature token. Oasis Gardener. 3 mana for a 2/2 Scarecrow either. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, and you can tap it to add 1 mana of any colour. Voracious Varmint. 1 and a green for a 2/2 Varmint with Vigilance. You can pay 1 and sack it to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Slick Sequence. 2/red for an instant. It deals 2 damage to any target. If you've cast another spell this turn, draw a card. Rustler Rampage. 1 white for an instant with Spree. Pay 1 addition to untap all creatures target player controls, or pay 1 for target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Doc Orlock Grizzled Genius. Green and a blue for a 2/3 Bear Druid. Spells you cast from your graveyard or from exile cost 2 less to cast, and blotting cards from your hand cost 2 less to cast. And then we've got High Noon. 1 and a white for an enchantment. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. And then 4 and a red, and sacrifice it to deal 5 damage to any target. And then we have Siphon Insight. Blue, black for an instant. Look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. Exile 1 of them face down and put the other on the bottom of that library. You may play the exiled card for as long as it remains exiled, and and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any colour to cast that spell. And it has flashback of 1 blue-black. And then we've got Mourner's Surprise, 1 and a black for a sorcery. Return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to hand, and create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token. And then we've got a desert and an artwork card. So that's a very tough pack 1 in my opinion. There's not a lot of immediately pickable cards. It's they're all sort of cards that you want to take. After you sort of know what archetype you're in. I mean, to be honest, I'm probably considering the Voracious Varmint at the moment. I'm just going to quickly go through them again. To be honest, I think I'm actually going to be pack 1, pick 1 of these 3 creatures. They're all pretty decent 2-drop common cards in my opinion. The Spring Splasher helps reduce a creature's power by 3 on the opponent's side, so makes blocking a bit more difficult. This is a 2/2 vampire with lifelink, and it also, you can target yourself or an opponent to mill the card, so you might have a mill strategy, you might not, but your milling an opponent is also useful. And then Voracious Varmint there's another 2/2 with a keyword that in the Dire Straits you can pay 1 and sack it to destroy target enchantment. From what I remember of the set, there isn't a lot of enchantment removal, but there is some good enchantments that people could draft, so yeah, I mean I'd probably go for that, but again, not a great first pack there. Let's go on to pack number 2. Okay, so we start off with Giant Beaver, 3 and a green for a 4/4 beaver mount with vigilance. When it attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature that saddled it this turn, and the saddle cost is 3. Reckless Lackey, 1 red for a 1/2 goblin pirate with first strike and haste. You can pay 2 and a red and sack it to draw a card and create a treasure token. Armoured Armadillo, 1 white for a 0/4 armadillo with ward 1. You can pay 3 and a white for it to get +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is its toughness. Daring Thunder Thief, 3 and a blue for a 4/4 turtle rogue. That's a great creature type combo. And it has flash, and it enters the battlefield tapped. Black Snag Buzzard, 2 and a black for a 2/1 bird with flying. When it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it, if a creature died this turn, and you can plot it for 1 and a black. Sterling Keykeeper, 1 and a white for a 2/2 human mercenary. You may pay 2 and tap it to tap a target non-mount creature. Phantom Interference, 1 blue for an instant with Spree. Pay an additional 3 to create a 2/2 white spirit creature token with flying, and an additional 1 to counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. I drafted a lot of these in the draft I did today, and they're surprisingly good. Stubborn Burrow Fiend. 1 and a green for a 2/2 Badger Beast mount. When it becomes saddled for the first time each turn, mill 2 cards, and then it gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and it has saddle too. Full steam ahead. 3 and 2 green for a sorcery. Until end of turn, each creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains trample, and this creature can't be blocked by more than one creature. Marauding Sphinx. 3 blue for a 3/5 Sphinx rogue with flying, vigilance and ward 2. Whenever you commit a crime, surveil 2. It triggers once each turn. Oh, nice. That's a cool card. Archangel of Tithes. 1 white for a 3/5 angel with flying. As long as it's untapped, creatures cannot attack you or a planeswalker you control, unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. And as long as it's attacking, creatures can't block it unless its controllers pay 1 for each of those creatures. That's a really good card. And then we have Buried in the Garden. 2 green/white for an enchantment aura. Enchant land. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until it leaves the battlefield. And if the enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any colour. And Jailbreak Scheme. 1 blue for a sorcery with Spree. And 3 additional mana to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and it can't be blocked this turn. An additional 2 mana for target artifact or creature owners put it on the top or bottom of their library. And another desert. And a token. So, if this was the first pack, you would 100% take the Archangel of Tithes. That's a really good, nice little bomb for 4 mana, being able to control the attack and blockers. Although it's only 1 mana for each, that could really affect a game. So if this was your pack 1, you'd definitely take this. And if it was your pack 2, like it is here, our first pick was a green creature, which admittedly wasn't very good. And in a draft, you could quite easily still swing your colour. But if let's just say that we did carry on drafting green, you probably are looking at taking either of these 2, Full Steam Ahead or Stubborn Burrow Fiend. Stubborn Burrow Fiend maybe not so much. Full Steam Ahead's probably a good bomb there. Get a large board presence and then +2/+2 and trample, and then they can only be blocked by 1 creature as well. That's pretty bomby. Nothing else really shouts out to me. Yeah, probably Full Steam Ahead there. And then we'll go on to the final pack. cards, Paladin. 4 and a green for a 5/4 human knight with trample. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Thunder Salvo. 1 and a red for an instant. It deals X damage to target creature, where X is 2, plus the number of other spells you've cast this turn. Steer Clear. 1 white for an instant. It deals 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. It deals 4 damage to that creature if you control a mount as you cast this spell. Seize the Secret. 2 and a blue for a sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you've committed a crime this turn. And you draw 2 cards. Ambush Gigapede. 4 black for a 6/2 insect with flash. When it enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Slick Shot Vault Buster. 2 and a blue for a 1/4 human rogue with vigilance. It gets +2/+0 as long as you've committed a crime this turn. Ankle Biter. 1 green for a 1/1 snake with death touch. Brimstone Roundup. 1 and a red for an enchantment. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token, and you can plot it for 2 and a red. Aloe Alchemist. 1 and a green for a 3/2 plant warlock with trample. When you plot this creature, target creature gets +3/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Plan the Heist. 2 blue for a sorcery. Surveil 3 if you have no cards in hand. Then draw 3 cards. Plot it for 3 and a blue. And then we've got a Cull, the Unrepentant. Black, red for a 5/5 scorpion dragon rogue with flying and trample. You can sacrifice 3 other creatures, and you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and only once each turn. Oh, and then we've got Grindstone. 1 mana for an artifact. You may pay 3 and tap it. For target player mills 2 cards. If 2 cards that share a colour were milled this way, repeat this process. Oh, we've got a foil rare as well. Vadmir New Blood. 1 and a black for a 2/2 vampire rogue. Whenever you commit a crime, put a +1/+1 counter on Vadmir. Triggers only once each turn. And as long as Vadmir has 4 or more +1 counters on it, it has Menace and Lifelink. And then we have Artwork and another desert. So this one is a little bit more difficult again. There's no cards that really shout out to me. If you were drafting from the previous packs and you're still staying in green, Aloe Alchemist is definitely a bit of a good card, because plotting it for 2 is what you would pay to cast it anyway, but getting that bonus effect of giving a creature +3/+2 and trample is really good. But yeah, I'm not too sure what else you would really pick one there. Plan the Heist is pretty good, because plotting it so that you can get rid of it out of your hand and then possibly have no cards in hand the next turn could work. I did draft that in my last draft pool, and it was good. But yeah, there's nothing. Like there's some removal, but it's not even really that good removal in the set. There are plenty of other better removal. Yeah, there's plenty of other better removal in the set, in my opinion. Ankle bite is not a bad common, but whether you would pack one picket, I still don't know. Let's just. I mean, maybe you might just rare draft this pack and take the cull, but there's not a lot of things that you'd want to trigger with its second ability. It's more just a 4-drop 5/5 with flying and trample. That might be enough to sway a sealed game for you. I've been Foamy ASMR. I thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And if you leave a comment below, I'll get back to you.